What is up, dudes and lady dudes? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today I am predicting the new legendary duelist of the Abyss. This is water-based, which is really cool. We just got the wind-based, which also is cool because I know a lot of people are going to be speculating an earth and a fire one after this, but we'll get there when we get there. We'll deal with those when they come. We're doing water today. Really quickly, I'm going to blast through a lot of these and dispel a lot of these options because I know people are kind of excited on them, and I'll give you my predictions at the end of the video. So without further ado, let's just start off with it. Frogs, they appeared with a one-off character in a filler episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I don't think so, sorry. Penguins, they were played by a pretty irrelevant villain from one arc in the anime that lost to Taya. Bruh. Bless me. Glacial Beast, a one episode, one duel off, played by some girl named Olga in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V. Get out. Mako Tsunami, they've never supported the same character twice in two different legendary duelists. He's already been in one. I don't think he's going to get the treatment again. I mean, I think this one's actually somewhat possible. You know, if Konami really just says, screw it, we haven't done Mako Tsunami right, let's actually give him good water support. But I don't see it. You know, because they've only done it for Zane Truesdale, and that's because Zane Truesdale played two different decks during the anime, so they gave him support for each deck. Mako plays the same deck, so I don't think he really fits that mold. And we have Ren. This is actually a manga only character, but he plays the white cards. We actually have some of these already in the TCG. White Moray, White Stingray, White Aura, the extra cards like Whale, Behemoth, and Dolphin. It's kind of a cool card, kind of a cool archetype actually, but I don't know if they would want to go with a character that a lot of anime watchers will have no idea who it is. So that's just my thought there. I don't think so. Bastion Masawa, I actually think he has a decent chance of being in here. He does play multiple different decks though, so he doesn't really have a staple standard deck that they can bank on people knowing him for. But I would say the most noteworthy deck he's played is the Water Dragon deck. It's literally a deck that just summons a monster called Water Dragon. That's pretty water to me. He's a pretty likable character from the GX anime. A lot of people do like Bastion, but I don't know. It's definitely gonna be interesting to see if Konami thinks that he's relevant enough and that like people will know him for his water deck enough, because he dueled plenty in the show like that. That's great. So yeah, we'll see. I think he's a possibility though. This could be one of the weird ones. Like, you know, we just got Fleur from Sherry LeBlanc in the last Duelist pack. This one could be the oddball here. Next up is Alexis Rhodes. This is another weird one, but apparently, while in the anime, Alexis Rhodes plays obviously like her Cyber Angel deck. In the manga, she actually played like an ice deck. It's like taking advantage of like Ice Queen is actually a card we do have, if you know that card, and some other ice type cards as well. That's what she played in the manga apparently. So if they really wanted to go out of their way and like bring more Alexis cards to the TCG, I could see that happening. She is one of people's favorite girls from the anime overall, so I wouldn't be surprised if Konami wouldn't go out of their way to make an attractive girl character like one of their like main I don't know, stands to throw up on the new pack. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's possible. I don't think it's likely. And the last one that's kind of like a maybe for me is Rio Castle. She actually is a pretty relevant character. She actually does a decent amount of duels as well. But the only thing I will say here is her deck really doesn't seem like that much of a real deck, if you know what I mean. Like, she plays some water cards, but it's not like a real archetype with like super synergizing cards. Just kind of has like some good generic water stuff going on. So we'll see. You know, they may just try and like develop on that and really expand it to like more of a real archetype or like engine. And she's relevant enough as a character. I just don't think her archetype is like really like lends itself well to getting 7 whole cards of support. So we'll see. And then obviously we have our top 3. First off is Original Castle. Obviously it's Shark. A main character's like one of those main rivals from that show. He plays a pure water deck in the Shark deck. They actually have some pretty good stuff going on right now. But the one thing I would say is we did just get Shark support. Well, not Shark support, but Kraken support, which I believe was also played by him in the anime. In Animation Chronicle, like very recently in the OCG. So I don't know if they would want to turn around and immediately give him even more support. I mean, maybe they're just trying to throw Shark stuff out there, but I don't know. I'm a little skeptical because they just got so much support. So I don't know. I don't know on that, but other than that, the character is great. The character fits the mold so great. Next up is Adrian Gekko. This is another weird one. You may not remember him, but he actually was a pretty prevalent character in the one arc he appeared in. He actually duels against Ubel and stuff with Jaden and all that. Yeah. So he does have like 5 different duels under his belt, which is nice. He plays Cloudians, right? So obviously Cloudians is kind of a weird one, but they are water-based. And so this would be a really unique one. They could do some really cool things with Cloudians, I think. I think a lot of people always thought Cloudians were cool, but obviously they never really were able to perform that well. This could potentially be that. So I think he's like just barely relevant enough as a character to kind of be thrown in here. I just think like that is a possibility that Konami's like, nobody's going to remember who this guy is if we put him on our Duelist pack. But I think he just barely makes the cut there. So I do think that's a pretty good option. And then for the literal best one, it's Skyzeisen or Aoizeisen. She is great. She plays marincess. If you don't remember, marincess is already has a really solid core. They literally just need like 2 cards of support, and like they can be as good as Salamandrates, in my opinion. Like the deck has like insane recursion. The deck just needs access to like its disruptive cards. So if they just got like a new trap and like maybe a new spell, I honestly want to make a video just talking about marincess and like the exact kind of cards they want to get, but I don't know if I want to make that video before they get announced for it, because if they don't get announced, the whole video is going to be like so sad and I'm going to cry. So I do think she has the best chance of ending up in here. The only thing I would even consider as far as like, oh no, maybe she won't be in here, is she's Vrains, right? Vrains is like still relatively new, and this is a legendary duelist set, so you see some older characters in here usually. So would Konami just say Skyzeisens and Vrains are it's just a little bit too recent, we want like older legendary stuff to be in these sets? I don't know. I'm gonna pray that it's marincess, because I think like that would be so good. They put really good archetypes in the wind one that actually are like, rogue relevant decks, and this one like couldn't actually be like tier 2 if they actually gave it really good solid support. If they gave it great support, it could literally be tier 1. I'm not even joking. This deck's like kind of crazy if you really go and look at it. It just needs the solidifying cards to bring it all together. But yeah, so I think overall for my predictions, I'm going to say 1, Skyzeisen. I have to say Skyzeisen. I think she makes the most sense. She's a very prevalent character in Link Vrains. She's a likable girl, cool, all that, fun design, whatever. Also, waifu tax, baby. We know Konami loves adding waifu stuff to every set they put out because it makes it sell. This is really the only thing we looked at today that's water-based and super waifu-y. So, come on. And then I'd probably say, I'm going to say Adrian Gekko, for the sole fact that like I want to say Shark, but he just got like at least 4 cards of support. I think even more than that. I think he just got 4 cards of support from Animation Chronicle. Are they really going to turn around and give him 7 more cards? I don't think so. So because of that, I'm going to say Adrian Gekko over him. I think just like the archetype is like perfect. It's pure water. He is just barely a relevant enough character. Cool design and stuff to get it. And I think just people would love to see Cloudy and stuff. I think that would actually be like cool. And the last one I'll throw out there, this one's a weird one because you have to keep in mind, we could easily see like a really weird archetype end up in here, just like the last one we saw Sherry LeBlanc's Fleur deck end up in here. I'm going to say my weird one is Bastion Masawa. I know he switches his decks up, but I think the deck he's most well known for is that Water Dragon deck. And so I think Konami's going to make more cards based around that and kind of expand there. But obviously that last one's going to be so hard to guess because it always feels like they throw like a really weird curveball in there every time. But who knows? That's my prediction though. Those 3. Let me know in the comment section down below. 1, what your prediction is. What do you think is going to be different from what I have here? Definitely let me know in the comment section down below. And also let me know if you want to see a marincess-centric video where I'm specifically talking about the exact kind of cards I want to see if the deck got support. Because I really don't think it needs much. I just think it needs stuff that does specific stuff. It doesn't even have to be good stuff. It can be okay stuff. And it will, if it's the right kind of okay stuff, the deck will literally be competitive. So that's going to do it for here today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe if you haven't and you want to see more stuff like this in the future. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.